Yo ho yo ho ho. Gather round between me, 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 me. Please don't copyright this vid. It's a little song I did. Cause I like the joke of Brooke and his voice acting's not mid. I hope you people can actually hear us. If you can't, please let us know. But what's going on, guys? So how's it going? Yeah, I brought up the Lit Lounge earlier this week, and now I'm talking about the Wano Watch. You're like, what the hell? Yeah, recently I got into the anime One Piece, and I started about maybe mid to late August, give or take, and now I'm in the Wano arc. To give you an idea, I'm up episode 977, I believe? Maybe 975, maybe 977. I don't remember what the exact episode is, but I'm on 980. I'm pretty much done with the 900s. I'll be on episode 1000 before the end of the month with this pacing. And so I thought to myself, what better way to cash in on two things I enjoy doing? I kind of enjoy watching One Piece. I know. And I also like recording and putting videos out there because why not? So that's what I'm doing today. And today I kind of have a special guest with me. He'll be the co-host on this Wano Watch. I want to try and make it a weekly thing as much as I can. But if I can't, I hope you understand. But my guest joining me today, introduce yourself, guest. I have with me the Petrified Kumquat, and he has his own TikTok. Plug your stuff and not your butthole.
Well, what's going on, Brad's fans and everybody in between? I'm known by everybody as Kumquat, but just check the link, man. If you like fitness content and funny little fitness skits, check my TikTok out. It's in the little link below.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to do this Wano stuff. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, okay. So, to give a little bit to get the housekeeping out the way, thank you for coming back or being a subscriber and all the new subscribers. I hope you enjoy this, whatever we're about to do, and things go well. This is the first time I've done this, and I'm a little nervous, but we're going to be talking about multiple different things. We're just going to be talking about the episodes, not any real specific format. It's not going to be like characters, but we are going to have little discussions. Like if we say we're going to talk about Kaido, we're going to talk about Kaido for a few minutes. If we're talking about Luffy, we're talking about Luffy, etc., etc. So it'll be a normal podcast. If you've ever seen the Bleach Boys podcast with my friend Sam and his crew over at the over at the Weebs Guild, then you'll pretty much have the same format. Two dudes just talking about Wano. And right now, last night, what me and Kumquat watched was pretty much the Odin flashback. Let's talk about that a little bit, bro. The Odin flashback. Oh my gosh. People were telling me how hyped Wano was, and I didn't believe them. The Odin arc, man. If everything is like that, it's a stellar arc.
What a good flashback, too. Probably in the top 3 best flashbacks in One Piece so far.
I can agree to that. Out of all the flashbacks I've seen, I want to see more of Kaido's flashback, but I know that involves rocks. So we're not and we don't have anything on rocks, even in the manga from what I've heard. Oh, by the way, just to give a little bit of information, Kumquat over here, he's in the manga. He is caught up with the manga. He is the One Piece guru. I am just a little sapling who doesn't read the manga because I have no way to. Maybe.
It's just too good, man. When I caught up to the anime, I needed more, man. I had to sink my teeth in deeper, bro. So I had to start the manga, and I haven't looked back since. Manga is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I hear the pacing is way better, which makes me want to check out. Once I finish Wano, I'm actually going to go to the next arc in the manga because I'm not waiting 3 years for it to be done in the dang anime. That's not worth it. No. But yeah, Odin's backstory. You learn so much, and mind you, spoilers throughout the entirety. What?
Don't mean to interrupt you, but let's start from ground zero. Let's start from episode 1 of Wano Kuni and then work our way up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You're right. Yeah, that'll probably be a good format. So as you may know,
let me ask you a question then. What did you think? All right. So when we first got introduced to Wano, right? You saw Luffy and part of his crew, the gang, on the Sunny. We saw in the distance Wano, and when they finally washed up on shore, what were your first reactions, or what was your initial reaction to what Wano could be, or what it was?
Okay, so when I first watched Wano, because I knew a little bit about Wano before going into it because of people. I wasn't watching One Piece when Wano was first happening, so I didn't know as much to expect. But I thought it was interesting where they more or less they get separated, and like I didn't expect them to still be as separated as they are, but I liked it. And I also liked the fact that when I got into Wano, the music changed, the entire feel of it changed. And I'm blind, so I can't, as for the viewers may know, I'm blind, so I can't really see the scenery, but I can feel that there was a different atmosphere. I could tell that they're about to go into old Edo Japan, like Demon Slayer or Inuyasha type times.
Yes, visually, Wano just looks the most appealing, and I'm not even just talking about the animation, but just the way Wano is. It really does remind me of Inuyasha, or like, feudal Japan, like the Meiji era or something. Like, it just reminds me of, just classic Japan, maybe beginning Naruto vibes. I love it, man.
I also enjoyed very much the. I can tell you one thing I hated though. One thing I definitely hated was that little Tama. I hate Tama.
This guy hates Tama. Everybody, he doesn't like little Tama, man, and I disagree with that, man. I love Tama. She's so sweet.
I hate her. I hate her so much because, oh, I'm a foodie. I can, well, I'm not a foodie because in Wano, you learn that the people don't. That was one thing, actually. I was not suspecting that to be them to be the equivalent of a war-torn country. I did not expect them to be in like, the Shogun is the guy that gets all the stuff. Only the only people that are truly thriving in Shogun's Orochi's Wano is the people in the Flower Capital and Orochi's men. Everybody else, F them.
And it's interesting, though, in the beginning of Wano, in the beginning of the arc, it is heavily implied that oppression and segregation, there's a lot of dark themes to Wano that, you eventually begin to learn more and more about. There's a lot of a strict regime, per se. I don't hear it much, man, but I do kind of attribute, some concepts of this arc to, like North Korean culture and stuff, and how it's very oppressed and whatnot. So I really like these themes.
And yeah, and Orochi, you've seen it in the first, 5 or 6 episodes of when you find out who Orochi is. Orochi caps people for not liking him. What's that? You're going to talk about... You could talk about Kozuki. And that's where we meet Tama. We meet Tama because she gets captured and gets told, hey, yeah, you've mentioned the Kozuki name. You're going to get outed. You're going to be sent to the labor camps. And I can see... I don't think that's as the same with North Korea. Maybe it is. I'm not sure because I'm not the most versed. I'm not into that stuff. But I can definitely see a Kim Jong-un being Orochi.
And, Oda specifically goes out of his way to make the audience hate Orochi. From the first appearance we've seen him, he's just portrayed as this cowardly, weak man who has power, and that's the only reason why he's respected and well known. Respected's a stretch, but well known.
Feared and well known is more like it.
Feared and well known. There you go. Perfect example.
And for those of you who Egu indeed, and for those of you who here's a very good another way of thinking about it. And I was thinking about it the entire time I was watching Orochi. He's a chicken shit heel. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a wrestling term. It means that they're a bad guy, but they're a bad guy that usually has flunkies or other people higher than them do the bad guy stuff for them.
Ridley.
Yes, exactly. Kumquat's here, and he would and the people would just pay money back in the day to see that motherfucker get his comeuppance. So Orochi reminds me a lot of that, and I honestly think that Oda is a. Yes. Hello, people in chat. Thank you for coming. Ridley? Anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted from the chat. The chat speaks to me.
The chat is speaking.
Yes, it said egg, Egu, and I think Ridley. But anywho, yeah, I got that vibe from Orochi, and I think Oda himself may have a love for wrestling, because there's a lot of like Frankie reminds me of a pro wrestler.
He definitely does.
But no, Wano, what would you say the first act of Wano? Somebody said King Dedede, and they're saying Ridley and King Dedede.
That's definitely John. It's definitely JM Spider and Cum.
Yeah, I could definitely imagine both of them, KM and JM, those little
scoundrels, bro.
Look, one of these days we're gonna get egg emotes in the chat, okay?
We have Come Get Some in the chat, who reminds me of Orochi, and then we have JM Spider, who reminds me of Kaido, of the Beasts.
No. JM reminds me of Dofi.
Well, we're talking about Wano, and JM Spider reminds me of Kaido of the Beast.
No. JM reminds me... You know who JM reminds me of? He reminds me of... Yes, Baby Amelia. He reminds me of Kinemon, almost. And KM's definitely Kanjiro! With what we know about Kanjiro, he's 100% Kanjiro.
Totally. Now, okay, alright. Let me ask this question.
What's up?
Now, you are just starting the raid on Onigashima.
Yes.
And you finished the Odin flashback, which means you're about 70 episodes deep into Wano, right? And we've seen a couple little mini arcs within Wano, right? Between Luffy first getting to Wano on the shore, and he's learning about the land with Tama and how polluted the river streams are with the fish and stuff. We have that little arc with the sumo guy, and then the mini arc with the jail and stuff like that. What do you think of Wano being segmented into little baby arcs instead of just one long running?
It makes it feel as though that it's not the whole entirety of Wano. Like, so if it's one of those things where Wano is segmented off so well, or Wano, and this is the pacing issue. There are definitely pacing issues, but Wano's arc, it seems like it has the most amount to it as in content. So them segmenting off is a good thing, because it doesn't feel like, oh, well, I'm going to be watching the tournament like in freaking Dressrosa for 80 episodes. It's more like, okay, we're going to focus primarily on this. We're going to do this arc, the jail arc or the Tom arc or whatever you want to call it, and we're going to do it, and until it finishes, that's the act. And I like that. It makes it feel like separated. And you had little things in between, like Blackbeard. You saw more Blackbeard and Moria, for crying out loud, which was unexpected. You get to see during the Odin flashback, that was like in the middle of Act 3, but right before that was the rock stuff, which was insane. Learning about rocks was crazy. I knew about that Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido were all on the same ship together, but I didn't know the details around it, and I think that's learning all about their backstories, because they're main players in this arc.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right, actually. And it's interesting, you do learn more about Kaido's men, more so King and Queen rather than Jack, because we already knew about him. But Queen has the jail. We know a lot less about King than we do about Queen.
I'm interested in King. I'm interested about King. I don't know what he's about, because from what I can tell, I know he's going to be fighting Zoro at some point, and that makes me interested. Does that mean he's the swordsman of that group?
Well, he does use... Well, you'll have to see, but he does have a sword, what we can tell on his back. He's the only person with a sword that we do see out of Jack, King, and Queen, and Kaido. So look forward to that later on. Shouldn't be too far until you see. It's pretty far until you see that, but you'll get there in no time. Now, what about expectations for the rest of the arc? What do you want to see? Maybe a personal thing you might want to see, or things you expect to make this arc, the cherry on top, what have you.
What fight are you wanting to see in Wano?
What fight am I wanting to see in Wano? Ooh, I know some of the fights because that was a question in the chat, and I'll acknowledge that chat before or that question before or after I acknowledge your question, Kamiquat. But to answer, what I expect is that I genuinely think that obviously I know Gear 5 is going to happen because I was spoiled on that. I know that I think that Zoro is somehow going to be factored into the ending of the Kaido fight, since Enma, the sword that Odin had that cut Kaido, is now in Zoro's repertoire. I think something like that is going to happen. I know that Sanji's going to get I know there's a lot of power-ups coming. I want to see Robin learn hockey, because Robin in her state right now needs a hockey upgrade. That's what I want to see.
Really important.
That's what I want to see, or her implementing her devil fruit in a way that I wouldn't even think about, like using it to maybe give her, because she's used flight before, maybe she's perfected it, or maybe she's gotten better with it, because she's only used it very rarely.
Exactly, totally.
I wouldn't mind seeing. I think that Kaido is going to be beaten by Luffy by a Gear 5. Gear 5 is going to rock his shite, and then Zoro's going to come in through. Like, it's going to be a tag team type deal, and they're going to end Kaido together. And if I see that, that would be peak, because we haven't really seen Zoro and Luffy do dual attacks together.
No, we have not. And you'll see a bunch of stuff like that later this arc. Like I said, you're only 70 episodes deep into a 180 episode arc. So, there is a lot of content you still have to watch.
There is a lot of content, and honestly, if things keep on going the way it does, I need to see the ending of it first, but right now, Wano's in the contender to be in top 3.
It better be, yeah. Wano's fantastic, man. It's just a well-written arc. Maybe long, but
what are your expectations
very,
of Gear
very
5?
Oh, and to answer your question, what fight? To answer the chatter in the chat, to answer the Paradise people, if you will, I'm expecting to see. I want to see I'm curious to see Big Mom's fight, and I want to know what Law's going to do, because I know Law's in Wano as well, and I want to see that fight, because it's not Luffy and his crew, it's Law and other people taking on Big Mom. And as for Gear 5, what do I expect Gear 5 to be? I know that it's very Looney Toony, kind of crazy. Everybody tells me that I don't know what to expect, but it's that apparently the devil fruit that Luffy has is not all as it seems, and that intrigues me.
Yes, that is a great example of some cliffhanger notes right there. He does not know, there's so many things in this arc that will just blow your pants right off your legs, man. Your pants will just rip off your legs just from the information that you'll hear later on. So I hope you have a belt on or you have really tight pants, but man, if you have loose pants on, they're just flying right off.
I have speculations as well. Well, for example, I think Odin's father is still alive. I think Odin's father is also the person that takes care of Tama, and the only evidence I have for this, and this is the loosest bit of evidence, is that they're both voiced by the same voice actor in dub. Now, that could just be a coincidence, but...
Look at this guy, chat. Look at this guy over here. Look at this guy, chat.
I don't know, man. It just seems as though that something's fishy going on with his dad. I really want to see more. I'm expecting more from the other non-Straw Hat combatants. I'm expecting a lot. And somebody told me that Eustace Kid is no longer mid after this arc.
People used to meme on him and call him useless Captain Mid.
Yeah, I heard that, and I can honestly understand why. As of right now, he hasn't done anything important. Oh, I was going to ask you that. And this will be for the feed. Last night, the 3 Worst Generations teamed up and did an attack together. What did Law, Luffy, and... I know what Luffy did because he said Bounce Man. But what did Luffy and Mid do? Kid.
Against,
they were just random Kaido's fleet. It's when they're like, oh, wait, everybody's back. You're back. This was after the traitor was revealed.
Did you watch any more? Right?
Yeah, I watched a little bit afterwards. I found out who the traitor is.
Tell the chat who the traitor is.
The
Right
traitor
now.
is Kanjiro.
Were you surprised with that? I
I
did
was
not
like,
know you knew that.
I was like, oh, okay, I get you. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Good on you. You get a point.
He's
But
Kanjiro Kodozumi.
yeah, it's Kodazumi Kanjiro, which is crazy.
What do you
And
think, bro?
I
What do
think
you
the
think of that?
entire. I think there's a fun. I think. So the whole. Are you talking about the Kazumi? The not Koi. The whole Korizumi? Or is it Koizumi?
Just Kanjiro being the traitor in general.
I didn't expect it just because of the fact that when, and this may be a visual thing, but when Orochi was talking about him, he mentioned that he was an actor and stuff, and it made me think, wait a minute, when he was revealing and stuff, I remember you saying, doesn't he wear kabuki makeup?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wano in general is like a kabuki play, so it just makes it, it fits. It was thrown in so subtly that Kanjiro is actually, well, he's an actor, so he likes to embellish, and I never knew it either. That was one person I never really thought as the traitor. So I was
So
like,
first I thought it was Okiku, like the boy,
You did.
and then I thought that was Raizo. Because how the hell did Jack know Raizo was in Wano? Was Jack going there to pick his boy up? No, he wasn't. Turns out it wasn't Raizo. And the fact that Kanjiro is actually competent with his devil fruit makes it even more interesting.
Yes, sir. So he acted this whole time. Kanjiro acted as if he was a bad drawer with his devil
And an idiot.
That's right, man. He couldn't even make a simple bird, or he couldn't make a simple ladder on the side of a building that we saw in Dressrosa. Now that you see he's capable with drawing anything he wants, that makes him much more formidable.
That does make him much more formidable, I agree. And I think that if Kanjiro makes it out of this raid, which he probably will, I think it would be great if Kinemon were the one to take him down.
Very interesting.
It would make so much sense if all of them, or if just because I like him, I want Kappa to beat him, just so I can hear his Kappa dance.
I feel like I should know his name by now. Oh goodness gracious.
Kappa, and Pa.
Yeah, we
Love
just
him.
know him as Kappa right now. I'm having a brain fart myself. But tell me right now, favorite Akazaya member, favorite of the Scabbards.
Ooh, okay, so it's going to have to be between either Kinemon and Kappa. Just because Kappa, if you think about it, that's insane that a giant talking Kappa wields a sword.
He's a samurai, yeah, man. Okay.
But
next
Yasui
question.
is probably one of my favorite characters introduced in Wano. Odin's the best character introduced in Wano so far.
I was just gonna ask that. Yes. Who's your favorite One Piece Wano character right now?
Ooh, okay, right now, if we're not counting Kaido as a One Piece or as a Wano character, I would say either Odin or Yasui.
Yasui or Odin? Alright, very good choices,
They're both so cool. Yasui went out. Ah, man, that's crazy, though. His entire operation was in vain. He died for nothing.
Really?
Which is crazy. He died because he even flashed back to Yasui talking to Kanjiro, and he's like, yeah, no, we got another rendezvous point. It's going to be here. Not knowing that Kanjiro was a traitor, and freaking dying for absolutely nothing. Just makes Orochi and Kanjiro look more... I want them to die. Okay, and I think my food is here. So you entertain the people.
Alright, chat. Where's my guitar, chat? I'll play you. Dare I do this right now? So I don't know if you guys know Brad as Brad or Brad as Nico Panda, but But yeah, he's a very interesting guy. Everybody, he's a good guy. Good guy. He's been cruising through some One Piece. So you know, it's been a long day, or it's been a long process. He started in August, and well, it's now January. So, I mean, it's been going pretty fast, all things considered.
Ringer vibrate.
Kappa-pa, 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 and pa. Anyway.
You got your food already?
No. They were just calling to say they're a mile away, and they're like, yeah, I see you said the GPS might take you the wrong way, and yeah, you already know. Getting here through GPS is kind of AIDS.
Yes, chat. Brad is getting... What do they know you as, again?
They know me as Brad. No, I'm Brad. I'm Brad. I'm just Brad.
Alright, Brad is getting some Firehouse subs, gang, and, well, I mean, I'm sure he's very excited to ingest...
Try something new.
Delicious sandwich. Yes.
But anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about... I hope that answers your question, Shatters. If you have any more questions, just, feel free. I love it. This is great. This interaction. This is hot. I'm going to cuddle you all.
You can't tell how many are watching, right?
Yes, actually I can, but it would stop the stream for a moment just for, to check out... Yeah, it would stop the stream. Anything you... For the most part, I don't think they'd be able to hear us, but let me... Yeah, they can't hear us right now, but I'll check to see how much people are here. Oh, no one's watching.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's perfect, man. We'll upload this, and hopefully we'll get some interactions when...
yeah. Anybody that watches this video, leave your comments, leave any part of your whatever it may be, any One Piece comments or any One Piece opinions, what it may be. No spoilers, obviously. No spoilers past Wano. Past Wano Act. Actually, no spoilers past Odens Past. Let's just keep it like that, because I'm not in there like that. So just keep it like that, we should be good. But yeah, feel free to go nuts in the comments. We love it.
We straight up love it.
Yeah, we straight love. No gay love. No homo.
There's anything wrong with that.
I never said that. What are you, gay? What are you, gay? Or a Oh, wait, I can't say that word on Switch.
You heard it here first, folks.
What are you, a queer? Or are you one of them... man, I can't even say it, man. I can't even... Yeah, Are you one of them figs? There we go. Are you one of them figs?
I love Fig Newtons, though. I love Fig Newtons. Are they Fig Newtons or Fig Neuters?
Fig Newtons.
No, yeah, Fig Neuters were the Nickelodeon versions of Fig Newtons. Yeah, Fig Neuters.
That sounds like a derogatory term towards a certain type of people.
Fig Neuters?
Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds like a derogatory term for a certain race of people, or a group of people.
I would imagine so.
But back to the Wano.
Back to Wano. I'm just trying to think of the bullet points that I had down that I kind of wanted to discuss. There are so many more opportunities for podcasts later on in this arc. I'd like to say we can do a couple more podcasts before the arc is completely over, because there's so much content with this raid arc that just one podcast, we could not cover everything and do it successfully.
Yeah, we really couldn't. That's why this is episode 1. There's going to be multiples of this, and there's going to be multiple episodes. This is just the first one to test the waters, because the next one is going to be... I don't know if I want to do an episode, just whatever episode I'm on right now, and talk about it weekly, or if I'm going to do, I finished an act, or I finished a part of it, and then I want to talk about it. I don't know.
I'm thinking we should do milestones, so everything from where you're at right now, which is what, 972 or 3 finished on.
I can find the exact thing. You keep on with your statement. I'll hear you, but I'm gonna mute my mic.
Regardless if it's 971, 2 or 3, we should definitely throw a podcast in around episode. Well, we could do it weekly. That'd be pretty fun. But we should have a podcast. Maybe 1015. That's a very important episode. I think that's worth discussing. Maybe even right before that, I think we should discuss it. And then from 115 on to 100 and 130 or so.
979 is what I'm on, by the way.
79. Holy cow. We can definitely.
And my food's here, so I'll be right back.
All right.
Play the Yo Ho Ho song on your guitar. It'll be great.
So, I wrote a song about Brad, everybody. He's just been a cool guy. And, it's a silly song. And I think it's worth a mention, at the very least. So, I hope you like it. But it goes... I don't know if it's just too graphic for YouTube, though. Where are the words? I'm nervous about the words, though. I need to learn, though, gang. I do want to learn Bing Saki, the One Piece song. The yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho. I do want to learn that on the guitar at some point. That's probably my next goal. I don't know. We'll see how hard it is.
Your next goal is to touch Yamato?
My next goal is to learn that One Piece song, Bing Saki. I forget what it is.
Binks and Brew.
Binks and Brew is what it's called. Yes, Binks and Brew in the English. I do want to learn that. Just the instrumental. Nothing crazy.
You should also learn the this isn't One Piece related, but you should definitely learn some some Bleach OST, because Bleach is also sexy.
Oh, I mean, I could definitely learn some Bleach too.
Yeah, no, just you could probably learn. I don't know if it's the Mexican guitar needed, but you could definitely do some of the Espada themes.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Wano. Now that I got my food.
Now that you got your food, I'm just thinking of some bullet points that we haven't touched up on yet.
We haven't really talked about the dub, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess this is a good segue to talk
You want to start talking about the dub? Okay, as somebody who can see it, what are your thoughts on the dub as a whole of Wano? Since you could talk about the entirety of the dub, or you could talk about just where we're at. It doesn't matter. But what do you think of the dub of One Piece as a whole and the dub of Wano as a whole?
All right. Listen, gang. I don't believe the One Piece dub should get the hate it receives. I get it. People don't really like Luffy or Colleen Clinkenbeard as Luffy. I didn't like it at first. In the very beginning, I was not a fan. However, it really, really grew on me. And in a weird way, I can't hear Luffy as anybody else besides the sub, most importantly, and then the dub as Colleen Clinkenbeard. It grew on me, but everybody else is phenomenal, man. Zoro, Sanji. People say it's too much Dragon Ball voices. And, it is. However, it fits. It fits really well. And Wano, I feel like the voice acting has amped up their quality more so than in the past. I do think they did get crazy killer choices for Kaido. Kaido's dub voice is absolutely phenomenal. They couldn't have done it any better. Odens' dub voice is absolutely phenomenal. They couldn't have done that any better. And, they got Lord Orochi, the Shogun. I do like his voice. It's just it just kind of seems like a cowardice, weak man. It just sounds like a guy who's afraid of his own shadow. And they really portrayed a lot of these One Piece Wano characters, in very high standard. And I am enjoying it so far.
So to add on to that, I can agree to a certain extent. I think the One Piece dub has its hits and misses. I think Sanji could be better. I think Zoro's just the safest choice, and I genuinely believe that Chris Sabat went, hey, Zoro's popular. I play a character kind of like Zoro, and Arceyu might be the same or something like that. So why not? Why not be Zoro, this extremely popular character? But for other characters, out of all the Straw Hats, I think Robin, Brook, and Chopper are the three best. Brook is probably one of the best. Brook is the most consistently good voice actor in the entirety of the dub of One Piece. The most consistently good. It doesn't matter, because he's also a main character now, so he's going to be on screen for lots and lots of times. He just nails it. just nails it. He's got a good singing voice. He's got the delivery, the laugh. I've talked to sub watchers. They even say that the sub laugh is on point. I couldn't say any more good things about Ian Sinclair's acting. Keyword acting. His personal choices are a different thing, but we're not here to talk about that. I think Kaido's voice actor is crazy. If you look up who they got, just to give you some like some of the big hitter, this big hitter is. Not only is he a Canadian voice actor, but he's also somebody who's been in Western animated shows. He's a cartoon voice actor. He's done live action stuff. He's Lobo in Injustice 1 and Dr. Fate in Injustice 2. He's got a resume that would impress anybody who's a normal voice acting person. There's the only thing I could say about it that I get mad Paul St. Peter vibes. And for those of you who don't know who Paul St. Peter is the voice of Kurama from Naruto, Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts 2. He's also Wormmon in Digimon. He's around a lot. Who else is he? He's in Eden Zero as well. He's in many different shows at different characters. Oh, he's Yami in Bleach. He's also Grand Fisher in Bleach. Yeah.
Exactly.
He does a lot of, and by the way, that's all of his natural voice. But yes, he's a very good voice actor, very accomplished. I think that he would be a great fit as well. But who they got as Kaido, like it could have been a coin flip, head or tails. No matter what, the Kaido's voice actor is phenomenal, and some of the other hitters they got for this dub is crazy. For Wano itself, they got Power Ranger voice actors. They got voice actors. They literally blew their budget. If the animators blew their budget on Wano, the the freaking Funimation blew their load when it came to this arc. Exactly. I don't know how they're gonna top it.
And we'll find out. That's one thing we will certainly find out on.
Hello, Fleet, and hopefully we'll learn about Dr. Vegapump. I can't wait to learn about Dr. Vegapump.
You're excited to learn about Dr. Vegapunk?
Yeah, Dr. Vegapump.
Well, you won't learn about him for quite a while, I'd say.
Years.
No. Next arc is when we learn about him. However, that's the anime just entered that arc, so.
By the time the dub gets there, we'll have Dr. Vegapunk. Pump.
Yes.
I don't know why I keep on calling him Punk. That's weird. Dr. Vegapump.
Right?
Hero Freed. Anywho. I think also Colleen as Luffy is just bad.
A lot of people do say that.
And Colleen, don't get me wrong. I think you have very good talent and you're an accomplished voice actress. Your political choices are kind of retarded and you have some shit business practices, but you are a good voice actor and Luffy is just not for you. I honestly think, and I know he wasn't around during that time, but Bakugo's voice actor, Clifford Chafin, if you get him in the right role, or not in the right role, if you get him to use his lower, registered voice instead of his growly voice, his just normal voice. Which he uses for Ryuzui, I believe that's his name in Dr. Stone. That voice could work well with Luffy, and I could imagine him screaming "Gum Gum Rocket" or something like that. But he wasn't around, and when that arc was first coming out, when One Piece was first getting dubbed by Funimation, he was probably only in college or high school.
Right on.
So I think Sanji could use some improvement. I think Frankie, people have mixed reactions to Frankie. I like Frankie's voice. Patrick Seitz kills it. He's Bob from Tekken. He was Scorpion from Mortal Kombat X and 9 and X. He's also Loxus from Fairy Tail and Crow from Dead Man Wonderland, just to name off a few roles.
Yes.
I think I'm looking forward to the dub and how it handles other parts, because I want to know how the dub's going to handle Gear 5, because that's all Luffy from the sound of it.
I am very, very curious to see how the dub is going to do. If you notice, chat and Brad, when Luffy first used Gear 4 in the dub in Dressrosa against Doflamingo, for some reason they changed his voice, or they asked Colleen to change her voice a little bit. I guess with the form to change the voice, but it did sound a little silly to me.
It sounded right. It sounded weird. It was like, I am Bounce Man. Like she did something like that.
Yes, it's just like it didn't fit for me when I first heard it. Now, Gear 5, I am extremely intrigued on how they will play that out. So I guess only time will tell. We got 2 more batches of English dubbed episodes until we get Gear 5. So not that long. 2 more months, I'd say. 2.5 more months until we get Gear 5, which isn't that long.
Possibly.
Really,
Possibly 2.5 months. It could be another.
unless they make that wait a little bit longer for some reason. I don't see why, but max
It could
3
happen.
months. If it's a month and a half for a batch, which the track record's like more like a month and a week. We got a new batch, but let's just say it's 3 months at its longest. That's not bad. We'll get it by March or April. We'll get Gear 5, and that's beautiful.
Now I am curious. What was your favorite fight of Wano?
My favorite fight of Wano that you've seen so far, or in total?
Yes.
Because we can't. What?
Yes.
My favorite fight so far, I'll probably admit, I like the Kaido and Luffy first encounter in episode 918.
I kind of like that encounter too, just because of how one-sided it was. I hate
was
Luffy,
very
guys, and I want
one-sided.
him. I love seeing Luffy get his shite rocked every time. It's the best thing ever.
And it was just so powerful, no pun intended, just emotionally impactful that, our main protagonist who fought tooth and nail from Dressrosa to Tato Land to Wano. He had power-ups along the way. Everything he's learned post-time skip, even during that time skip with Rayleigh, everything he's used and learned, he used against Kaido. And it just wasn't enough, man. Kaido did his one attack, his Thunder Bagua, and that's all she wrote, man.
Yep.
Luffy's King Kong gun, the move that defeated Dofi, that cracked the entire island of Dressrosa. That move was just a fly in the wind compared to Kaido, and I loved the theming of it.
I kind of also respect how Kaido seems like he's a Viking, because when Odin got kind of sucker punched, more or less, he was pissed. And I like that about villains. I like the depth of the villain. He's not just, I'm not just evil. I actually have a sense of honor to me. Kind of like
I'm not just big and strong with no meaning. I don't like those characters. Like, I'm just a strong guy that doesn't really have anything to relate to.
Yep, I am just a meathead who gets away with things because I'm a bully. Now, Kaido is actually intelligent and he has a sense of honor to him. I believe wholeheartedly if Odin and Kaido were to have their fight with no interference, Kaido would have lost.
He definitely. That is up for debate, and one could only imagine. Well, the thing is, Brad, we had not seen at that point in time yet. We had not seen Kaido's hybrid form.
He has a hybrid form?
So Kaido he's a Zoan. He may be a mythical Zoan, but all Zoans, whether they're regular Zoans, mythical, or ancient Zoans, they have the actual human form that they carry. Then they have the pure animal form that they have, and then they have their hybrid form. Every Zoan has that hybrid form.
Does that mean in theory that that Marco the Phoenix can turn into a literal phoenix?
Yes. You haven't seen his hybrid form at this point in time, but he does have a form where, yes, he's like part human with like fiery wings and shit.
I remember that we saw his wings show up during Marineford, but okay, scratch everything. My one want for this entire arc is to see Marco go full Phoenix mode. That is what I want.
You won't see that.
Why do you tell me these things?
I'm kidding. I forget if you actually do see that.
I know he shows up at some point, but I don't know when or what he does, and I can't wait to see him because Marco is one of my favorite characters. He's such a badass, and Kyle Phillips, the voice actor of him, who's also the director of Fairy Tail back in the day and Overlord, did really well. I like it. I don't know how old Marco is supposed to look or how old he is. I know he's
Marco's
old
in his
though.
40s.
That's crazy because I don't know, man. The voice that Kyle gives him, it sounds a little young. Sounds a little young.
You think so?
I do think so, just from that. And everybody hates Jinbei's voice actor, or the voice performance. I don't get that. I have no reference for him. Like the original Straw Hats up to Frankie, I knew what they looked like. Brooke, Frankie, and all the time skip versions, obviously. But Brooke, Frankie, Jinbei, I don't know what they look like.
Yes. I haven't explained them to you before. I might have, but a lot of stuff happens, and they always change. One thing about One Piece that I love is that One Piece does change the characters' outfits every arc. You can't really say that too much about, Naruto or Bleach.
But you know what you can say that about too?
They'll do that a little bit. They really will. Bleach and I do. But One Piece, every arc, Luffy has a new outfit, or Nami, she's rocking some new bra.
I'd love to be that bra. Or those
Zoro
panties. Anyway.
Zoro has a new one. I'll give that to Oda. He's very creative with the art. And, it's Wano Luffy has my favorite outfit design in the whole series.
I really enjoy that time skip. Nami is just a different version of Tina from Dead or Alive. Because Tina is the hottest character in my opinion in Dead or Alive, and they just made Nami more or less. They gave her longer hair. Obviously, she looks different than Tina physically, but her outfit is definitely Tina-like. The only difference is the fact that there's not a freaking stars and stripes on her bra.
That's exactly.
She's hot. Nami's hot. I like the new characters. Okay, so out of the favorite characters, or not favorite characters, out of the Straw Hats so far that I'm wanting to see more from, I want to see more from the Coward Squad, or the Cowardly Trio. I want to see more from them, but honestly, Usopp went out of his way to make him one of my favorite characters.
I didn't like him at first, and I kept telling people that, but he grew on me, man. Look, what you gotta understand about Usopp is that if we were to get isekai'd into the One Piece world, no devil fruit, bro. We had no form of haki. We're just a normal dude that's trying to survive in this crazy-ass world of One Piece. Usopp is what we would be. Literally, bro. Think about it, man. Usopp is on the Straw Hats with people that have stretchy powers, a guy that wields 3 swords, massively powerful, a guy who kicks that can bend steel with his kicks. Then you got Chopper, you got Robin who can read poneglyphs, and she's no slouch herself. Frankie the cyborg, Brooke, he's powerful in his own right, and then you got Usopp, man. Usopp and Nami, who are just 2 normal human beings. Usopp has to try his best to just compete and hold his own, man. Contribute to the crew, and that's exactly what he does, dude. He started off the show with these cool little pachinko balls that he uses for his slingshot, and then it went to little exploding pachinkos and then Tabasco stars, and it gets better and better, and then post time skip he starts using his Kabuto, which is a better slingshot with these plant-based attacks, which really just gives him a better arsenal of attacks.
Because he's Usoppin'.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And he's the epitome of what we would be in the One Piece world, man. He's scared to go to islands with dinosaurs on him and stuff, and that's exactly what I would be like, man, if we're sailing the 7 seas with giant sea creatures that swim below you and stuff. It's a scary world, and Usopp just reflects the reader, in my opinion.
I can see that, except the reader isn't as intelligent as Usopp is most of the time.
Usopp is smart. He is Batman.
Except his parents aren't dead? Actually, no, his parents aren't dead. His parents, both of his parents are not dead.
Right.
So he's kind of like Batman. I'm like Batman, I'm an orphan.
That is true, man. You are what a typical shonen protagonist could be.
Minus the blindness. And the fatness.
Yeah, but, yeah.
And the lack of bitches.
Yeah.
But no, on all seriousness though, I'm enjoying this. This is fun talking about this. It's been all over the place, I know, guys. If you bear with us, I thank you for that. It's been really nice to be able to talk about this. Are there anything you want to go over? Any maybe things that you wanted to discuss that wasn't discussed?
I think we covered everything for the immediate moment. We can do another podcast later on when we cruise through more episodes. Like I said, there's a lot more content that needs to be discussed. But we kind of just finished the. I don't want to say the prologue of Wano, but we have finished a lot of the prelude to the raid itself, which is the main part of Wano. So the ladder's just going to climb up from here. So stick around for some fun, entertaining podcast action.
And I think next time, by the time we do this again, we'll be on episode 1000, and I'll give my honest opinions on thoughts of that point. And I think Yamato shows up.
In general. Yeah, you could talk about One Piece in general from what you think from episode 1 to 1000. There's a big mile mark, so look forward to hearing Brad's thoughts on that.
And Jake might come back with me, or Jake from State Farm.
You can say Jake, yep. Yeah, no, you can say Jake. I'd love to be back for another podcast.
Yeah, man, it was cool having you, and it was awesome that I actually had a guest for once or a co-host for once instead of just me by myself, playing with myself in the wind, metaphorically. But
exactly.
Guys, I'd like to thank the Kumquat for coming to being my special guest. Or my co-host, maybe, and his links will be in the description. I will get those, and he will send them to me, and we can put that. I'll put that in the description, and I'll put my Twitter in the description. I keep on saying it. Same with the Discord. I'm gonna do it, but I promise, one of these days. And guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you can. And if you made it all the way to the end of this, you're a real one. And until next time, this is the Wano Watch.
That's right.
This is the Wano Watch, where we take it one piece at a time. And until next time, guys, I hope you stay lovely, stay free, stay lively, and remember, it's all because of me. No. Remember to stay happy, stay loved, and somebody out there cares about you, whether you are down in the dumps or high in the clouds, both metaphorically or because of the drugs. We love you here at the Otaku Paradise, and this has been Wano Watch, where we take it one piece at a time. Till next time, guys, I'll be probably streaming again something other during the weekend, maybe. I won't be streaming again until Tuesday at the very earliest, because my helper that helps me stream is not going to be back till Tuesday. So the earliest stream will probably be Thursday, maybe Wednesday if I can squeeze one more in. But until next time, guys, eat, drink, be merry, and have a nice one. Till next time, guys, I'm Brad from the Otaku Paradise, and this has been my guest, the Kumquat. Bye!
Later, guys.